actually doesn't say how heavy Rhagia are, just how tall they can get.
Yeah, um, we stopped listing character weights in the book because that was something that people would come and yell at us about. And if they didn't like it, and nobody said anything positive if they did like it, so stop listing it.
I mean, there's like two, maybe a third species I forgot about that like can go from like small to like incredibly giant. At some point, it's just any. So
Yeah, it's like I feel kind of bad about that, but it's also like I'm sick and tired of hearing people complain about shit.
Well, some legacies have weights listed, like weight ranges. I think Trudon and humans are two of them.
Okay, I think the spider one. I'm at a loss. I think it was just like sometimes we just sometimes we just don't want to have this date day. Bunch of weirdos on the internet about how much giant spider women weigh.
By the way, you're live.
Talk about how much giant spider women weigh.
oh yeah,
Alright,
that's what we come here for.
technically this is episode 6.
Gas.
Technical 6, my favorite kind of 6.
But we're here for a game of Myriad songs, so how would you guys introduce yourselves in the order that you appear in Discord? Starting with Griffin.
Alright, starting with me. I'm playing Jewel, the incredibly angry mutant conductor. His motto is that you will fear my power. And he's still trying to escape from Neffa. And now he's also trying to save the system and the galaxy.
Alright, and Rafferty?
I am playing Mvala de Portia, a high-tech, determined Rax laborer. I'm on the run from the law, but that's actually not even my objective because my goal has to be specific and measurable. My goal is to get a lot of money, a nest egg, if you were, and I'm out looking for the Turvis underground on this planet that's being oppressed by their capitalist oppressors.
Alright, and Arcloid.
I am playing Ivantana of Rin, the Rax pusher who is comfortably numb. Her current situation is she's looking to put together a new crew and use that crew to retake Big Tony's base from Noxu, I think his name is. But she currently has a more pressing goal to retrieve the secret keeper research notes on Neptha.
Okay. So I think we're going to start back with where we left off last time, which was with DePortia. I believe you were starting to create a nest for your... Do we call them eggs? Egg sacs?
Brood.
It'd be one big egg sack. Yeah.
Right. Because you had found that tree that was easily rememberable. It was in an area that was kind of... what do you call it? Is it a corpse? A corpse of trees?
Cops. It doesn't actually have an R in it.
Okay, maybe that's why I'm forgetting. Yeah, it was like in a copse of trees, isolated by itself. I mean, it was tall enough that its foliage blotted out the sun in the area around it where other trees weren't able to receive enough sustenance to survive. And there was a hollow in it that you had decided to start laying your egg pouch into.
Yeah. Can get weird. The quote is, "This is going to get weird. I'm going to make this weird."
Alright. If you could give me a roll of mind and observation, plus any modifiers you may have to that.
Can I do that? Okay. Oh yeah, I don't actually have observation. But fortunately, I brought something better than that. I brought a husband. Nope.
Okay.
I do have the gift. Well, this is to see other people sneaking up on me. So I mean, I do have like sneaky stuff and low profile, but that's not finding other people. That's not being seen.
Right. Does not apply right now. Okay, let me change maps real quick. Back to the one you've seen before. No, actually, it should be on this tree. Sorry, hold on. Boom, right there. Okay. So, you are settling your nest, as it were, because I believe your overall plan was to lay these eggs here and then leave them forever?
Well, I might come back and check on them, but yeah, survival of the fittest. We're spider people. We're not very nice.
Right. So again, you're laying your eggs into the hollow of a tree, some distance up above ground level. I guess your brood is the innate ability to climb sheer surfaces, right?
Yep. If they don't, they're pretty crappy spiders.
Okay. Yeah.
Whee!
Worthy of death. Okay.
Nothing
After
says summer like the spiders falling out, the clumsy spiders falling out of the trees.
I mean, it'd be horrifying to a person, but I don't think there's many people down beneath you.
But hilarious to me.
Right. After some time at this, so I believe you've been out here for a week alone, just either searching for the place or starting to lay, as it were. The tree beneath you, you begin to feel this slight rumbling.
Oh god, are they chopping this thing down?
Well, you don't see anything. You don't really hear anything either.
It's just rumbling.
Right. The only sensation you have that gives you any significant ability to think that anything is changing around you is that the fact that the tree seems to be vibrating ever so slightly. Not continuously, like stops. Maybe
Well,
a minute later.
I am a high tech laborer, so does this match any like well? I am going to go investigate, but I was just wondering if this matches like any like deforestation or other equipment that I might know.
Give me a mind in academics.
Academics, not craft.
No, not craft.
One success.
I mean, it has elements that remind you of certain industrial processes that have large ground shaking effects.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I'm trying to think of like maybe drilling platforms, things of that nature.
Right.
Because it seems to be more of a, considering it now, it seems to be more like a reverberation, like something is
Right.
affecting things around you in that way.
All right. Well, I will go investigate because I am looking for the Turvis Underground. This might be them, and if it's not them, it's someone's shaking my tree.
Okay. And when you say you go investigate, where are you
I mean,
going?
that means go lower to ground level. It's not here, so I gotta go lower.
All right. So you start climbing your way down the tree, and then make sure I get the right thing here. What just became visible to you?
A big burning crater.
There we go. Okay. Sorry, sometimes when you layer things, they kind of get hard to pick.
All right, that looks like
as you begin to descend down the tree, the ground explodes from beneath a clearing area just south of you on the tree.
That's not normal.
Yeah, dirt flies up into the air. Oh, hold on a sec, I forgot. There we go. Sorry, it doesn't make much sense without the other part. The ground just explodes all around you, even reaching as high up as you are in the tree. Earth, grass, bits of wood shatter away as this explosion just carries forth from beneath the ground. The area around you is just a roar of wind and fiery debris and kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? Not tinnitus, but you get that ringing in your ear.
That
The third degree effect of a nearby explosion.
the ringing in the ears. Okay. I think that literally is tinnitus, but tinnitus does refer to the permanent condition.
Yeah. No, shell shock is more of a psychological condition.
Right. So there's a ringing in my ears.
Shell shock is what used to be called battle fatigue.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's multiple degrees of the effects of being near an explosion. One is concussive force, and the other one is just the ringing in the ears. There's multiple.
Right. So something landed and exploded upwards with concussive force.
Well,
Well,
with one success on your academics roll from before, it seems
yeah.
more like the explosion was outwards, as the dirt has been blown upwards towards you, as though the explosion came from beneath the ground, more so.
Right. And like I said, I'm a laborer with craft, but so this doesn't look like a controlled demolition. This looks like it might be an industrial accident. Is that what you're saying?
Doesn't look controlled, but I wouldn't classify it as an industrial accident either. I mean, if that's a conclusion you want to jump to, be my guest. But
Well, that's why I was asking, like, if that might apply. But it's just an explosion, but I don't know enough to know what caused it, which is a
Right.
valid thing to say. Okay. Well, that's unusual. I'm gonna hang around in the trees for a little bit and see what happens. Does the forest burn down? Do we see people running away screaming? Does an industrial crew come to clean it up? What happens? As a spider, I will clarify, as a spider, I can remain motionless for long periods of time.
That's fine. Okay, you remain there, clutched to the tree. The fireball fades, rises up into the air, dissipates as it expands.
Does it smell weird?
What would you find to be a weird smell?
Uh, if it just smells like burning, I mean, if it just smells like burning plants, then it's just that the plants are on fire and something exploded. If it has a chemical smell to it, like a sweet smell of benzene, also I have a survey suit, so if it's toxic, it might set off an alarm that says it's not breathable. I mean, I have a respirator, but
Right.
it might be a toxic gas cloud.
It would have a chemical smell to it, artificial in nature, but it wouldn't set off any poisonous gas alarms.
Okay. Right. And in theory, I might be able to tell like the smell of cordite or the smell of triglycerin or that kind of thing. But in practice, I don't actually have those skills, so I don't know why I'm bringing that up.
Right.
So
Also, you can still feel more of those reverberations in the tree.
Huh. Okay.
The very loud thumping noise can be heard from where the explosion came from as well.
Huh. Thumping noise.
And then, after a few moments, a rather loud, what can only occur to you with no observational successes, as a loud revving noise.
Okay, I'll hang around and watch. There's nothing else going on today, and this is pretty weird.
Alright. One sec. Bursting out from the hole in the ground, you remember those white trucks you observed maybe a week ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, they come bursting out of the ground. Think Dukes of Hazzard style, making a jump from the pit as though they were launched off of a ramp, slamming down into the ground and start zooming out towards the trees. Relatively into the direction that you know that the base is in.
Interesting. They're hauling ass. Okay. I'll watch. Well, I'm not going to go in there. They're fleeing from something.
Right. Every so often, you can see a laser rifle shooting backwards towards the pit, and it doesn't take very long before a number of figures emerge from the pit as well.
Ah, and who are these guys?
Well, they're wearing. Oh, hold on a sec. Gotta bring up the description. And of course, every time I want to go to the description page, everything is a little slowed down.
Hear ya.
You see these bipedal, very hunched over, like Hunchback of Notre Dame type figures, look like long reptilian faces. They are covered in what looks to be like plant material.
Oh, it's these guys.
Uh,
Okay, so weird aliens I've never seen before. Yeah, I know I said these guys, but like I wrote the game, so I know who these guys are.
Right.
But my character's probably never seen them.
Yeah, but they're covered in like plant material of some sort. You can easily see what looks to be like foliage, but mold as well. A
Yep.
couple of them seem to be holding there's beehives on their hands.
Oh wow.
So the trucks are firing lasers back at them, and you can see them shooting off these weirdly natural weapons at these trucks.
Shooting them with bees. Flashing back to good old fashioned Half-Life and the fucking bee gun, my favorite gun of all time.
Yeah, but this is the scene that's playing out beneath you.
I know, it's so awesome. They have bee guns. I shouldn't be cursing on the stream. Wow. Interesting. Okay. I will observe because I don't really want to get involved in this dispute right now. I guess they control. So the giant aliens with plants on their backs and the bee guns chase the other guys away, and the other guys continue to flee until they control the area. Right?
That is a correct assumption of what's going to happen, yes.
Okay. I'll let this play out. I don't have any love for the Turvis guys.
Well, being that they're in trucks, they are going to get out of the area pretty quickly. The guys on the ground are going to assess the area for a bit as you watch before marching back down into the hole in the ground.
Okay. Before they descend the hole in the ground, I'm going to put all of my weapons away. And I am going to climb down the tree, holding my forearms above my head in a submissive posture. Hey, look at me. I'm a spider guy. I come in peace. Or spider lady. I come in peace.
Right, but you actually do announce yourself?
Yeah, I want to be obvious and non-threatening.
Okay. Second. A couple of them have already gone into the hole.
That's fine.
The other ones look up at you. Let's see here. Da-da-da-da. Give me another mind and observation roll.
Okay, and this time I'll have the survey suit up. Wow, 3 successes. I'll find out if they have radios, which they might.
Alright, well, hold on a second. Let me reverse what I've done. You were better at this than I thought.
Not the first time I've surrendered.
Well, what you'd see is that a number of them, the number that remain on the surface, they appear to like press themselves back against the trees, slink down against the dirt, earthen mounds that are caused by the explosion and everything, it seems like they're quite obviously trying to hide. And for the most part, at least 3 of them look pretty amazing at it. If they weren't for the fact that you had your survey bonus, you're pretty
Yep.
sure they would just be silhouettes, like
What?
Predator style, against the backdrop of the forest.
What? Giant aliens who live in symbiotic relationships with plants, blending in with the jungle? What madness is this? Yeah. I say, hey, I come in peace. I'm not with Tervis. Just want to ask a couple questions. Do you communicate in the sonic wavelength?
Even though you can tell where they're at, it's kind of impossible to tell which one of them is talking when the voice actually comes back, as it seems to
That's
echo
fine.
across the trees around you. Kind of like, that in that way that people who are hiding and trying to be mysterious tend to also be able to be loud and talk to you.
I've seen animes.
Yeah. They say, "What are you doing here?"
I'm a fugitive, exploited by the corporations. What are you doing here?
Fighting for our homes.
Are you guys the Tervis Underground?
We're the native inhabitants of this world.
I've been looking for you guys. You're not easy to find. Good for you.
What do you want?
To get these capitalists off your planet. I'm with you.
How can I trust you?
Spider spy. Trying to think what that would be. Look, they're hunting. They're hunting for me too, and there's no love between me and your invaders. So, if you don't trust me as a foreign agent, that's fine. I can understand why you wouldn't. Um, I, I just, I want to join you. I'm here to help. If you don't believe me, you can always come get me. I have a radio. So if you guys have a radio, you can call me too.
There's a moment of silence. You don't hear anything. You can still see them where they're at, because, you've given no indication beyond just talking at the sounds that you know exactly where they're at. So you can see them just not moving.
Right. Well, I have several eyes, so I'm not actually looking at anything at the moment.
Right. After a moment or two, they do just, a couple of them just start slinking back to the hole. Like in any reveal moment, they appear out of what seemed to have been like a bush before or something like that, and just slink back towards the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they would say anything to you after that.
Okay.
I think you would be left to your own devices.
So I just go back in the hole. I'm gonna go back to my hole in the high tree line, and I'm gonna let them chill for a bit and think this over.
Okay.
I told them I was here and on the radio, so I'm gonna go. And even though I didn't spend anything, I'm gonna go take a nap. And I'll come back in a few hours when they've probably bugged out or done whatever it is they need to do.
Sure. Alright. Well, we'll get a pause on you for a second as you take a nap. And we will go back to J0-11, I believe your name was?
No, it's Jewel now.
That's my slave name.
Exactly.
Alright, what's your recap?
I believe last time I was running short on air and decided to go to the last place where people might be neutral to my presence, the synthetic hive, the the place I've been told to never go. I have landed there and have what I assume is about 0 hours of air left.
I thought we said you had like 2 hours of air left.
By what I was hearing from before, the time to transit was going to use up the last of my air. So that was kind of my assumption.
I mean, I know
I had
you were
2 hours written
on.
down, but I thought it was going to be used up.
It was my understanding that you had 2 left because, as you recall, the last thing we discussed was that the hive doesn't have any air in it.
Right.
But
It's going to
yeah,
be a little problematic for me in the next 60 seconds, I'm sure.
well, as described, you approached this blackened metal disc built into the surface of the world. You hailed it, you had a little back and forth for a minute, and then the disc irised out, and your ship descended into it, guided by a signal from beneath. The iris closes above you, and you descend down this kilometer-long shaft, surrounded by rings of, well, just decks, basically. Just ringed decks that surround this shaft. There doesn't seem to be any walls built into this place. It seems to be just one long concentric ring with elevator shafts that seem to go up and down between. And you watch all of this as you go down, and you landed in the center. What was it you were going to do next?
I need to get out and find someone to talk to. Like, literally anyone, I think. Because I have no life support. And, are we going to say officially just 2 hours left?
I mean, that was my recollection. If you've got some sort of correction that I've said something differently, 2 hours is what I'm going to go with.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and just place 2 down. Okay. Uh, so yeah, presumably this leads to the bottom of some sort of landing deck or something of the sort.
Right, the very bottom
So,
of the kilometer-long shaft is a second black metal disc
mhm.
that you landed on.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and set everything off, lock it up, take the navigation into my pocket, because I'll want that data for later, regardless of whatever happens next. Uh, and step out and see where exactly am I, and what's around me.
All right, you step out of the craft. Uh, it the shaft is itself maybe half of a kilometer wide. There is wait, hold on a sec. That's not right. No, that's right. Okay, about half a kilometer wide. You can see there is a ring on your level because it is the bottom level, where a number of synthetic life forms are busy typing away at various consoles around them. Well, some of them are typing away, some of them seem to be just staring at the wall around them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you can see from your vantage point maybe 1 to 2 more floors up, a number of shining bright elevators moving up and down and fading away into the darkness above you. There doesn't seem to be any particular illumination given to anything around you. The only illumination being given by any of the consoles that any of these things might be standing around. So relatively pitch black with pinpoints of light around you, and of course the shining bright elevators that go up and down. Um, one of the synths turns to face you. It is a very boxy looking thing. Like it's got two. I'm going to use the word box a lot here. Two boxy legs, a very rectangular boxy middle body. It's got what looks like duct tubing kind of arms that end in like 3-fingered pincers, and like a dome, see-through dome for a head. It turns
Alright.
to face you and does a sort of waddle type walk where it leans to one side, its leg seems to shrink ever so slightly, pump itself back up, and then it leans back the other way. Very, I don't know what you would call that. There's a word for it. I can't think of it.
Contraptialta. That's an artistic term for when the shoulders angle contrasts the hip angle.
No, no, no. I meant more of the type of locomotion that's employing. Sort of a hydraulic in the leg, sort of, but also gravity-based falling. I know there's a word for it. I just can't think of it at the moment.
Huh. HUL's also didn't have a word for it either. So because I know what you're talking about. Like it clumsily topples along and looks like it's going to fall over.
Right.
Technically that is called walking.
Right, but it has.
Gosh, I know. Yeah, now. There's got to be something, but I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yep.
But yeah, it's coming in your direction.
All right, I will kind of raise up a hand at it and just sort of say, hello.
Over the radio, I'm assuming, is what you're doing?
Yeah,
Remember,
because
there's
there
no
is no
air.
air, and
Yeah.
I'm in a spacesuit, so.
I mean, I was gonna give you a minute to self-correct there that you're just saying hello to yourself.
Nah, I take off my helmet and try to shout with my mouth at it. But yeah.
Okay. After a moment, you hear a voice say, "Greetings."
Are you in charge around here, or, kind of need some repairs over here, a little desperately.
You hear a long string of what seems like white noise, and then you hear again, "Greetings."
You rebooted him.
Oh no. I'll kind of like approach a little closer and go, "Are you okay?"
Give me a roll of mind and observation.
All right. So I do have my observation now. So I got a D6 and a D4, and I do have a spacesuit survey bonus if that applies.
Sure.
A or nay?
A?
There we go.
So you mean yay or nay?
Yeah, that's what I mean. 2 successes. Hey, the D4 came through.
Pointedly, at least maybe more so on the second greetings than the first. It doesn't seem like the voice is coming from your radio.
Huh.
It's coming from inside the suit.
Oh no.
Then that was what, Apollo 15?
I don't
It was
remember.
18.
18? The one with the rocks. The rocks are like creatures and they get inside the suit and drive the people crazy.
Oh, I don't know. I remember the people were passing the onion joke around. It's like, so you look at the roster and it says everyone's here like Ramirez, but this guy's from outside says he's Ramirez and he's begging you to let him in. And the guy next to you says Ramirez is begging you not to let him in. Anyway, that really puts space travel in perspective. But where would it be coming from if it's not coming from the radio?
I know, right?
I know where it's coming from.
I mean, your suit would tell you if there was atmospheric pressure. Oh, wait, you're a weirdo mutant. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm a weirdo.
Yeah, he's one of those things.
But yeah, so I observed that it's not coming from my suit. But
It's not
it's
coming
still
from
like being signaled at me. So, I mean, I should be getting something, I suppose.
I mean, you hear it. You understand that this is a thing that you're hearing. It's not coming from your suit or the radio, apparently. Or at least not your radio.
Mm-hmm. But what can I do with the white noise? Maybe academics?
Sure. Give me mind and academics.
Okay.
It's a
It's gonna be
56K modem.
I'm sorry, what type of modem did you say?
Well, I probably had the number wrong, but I said 56K.
Okay, no, that's what I was thinking. For those of us from the 24K modem team. I mean,
And this
23.
is the future, so they're not going to limit me to 53.
All right.
Well, what do you want to know about the white noise that you could possibly know with one success?
How to get it interpreted?
One success? It's not really inside your spectrum of knowledge. I mean, remember you were kept imprisoned since you were like 10, so...
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
And
I read a science book once as a kid.
your experience is more with piloting matters too. I mean, I'm actually more basing this on the fact that one success is something anybody could do, and I don't think anybody could figure out the white noise without that's not even coming from the radio.
Right. The only question is, like, how much do we pop the surprise here to just,
And that's up to you.
Okay. I suppose at this point, maybe, like, Jewel will kind of, like, reach a hand up to his head and just sort of, like, seem like he has a headache for, like, half a second before maybe, like, the radio clicks on.
Is that the clever terminology we're using? Okay.
That's the
the radio clicks on
in his brain,
and you still hear greetings.
All right. So I still hear greeting and then a whole bunch of white noise.
Well, I mean, you're hearing greetings again.
All right.
You heard greetings, then you heard white noise, then you heard greetings, and then you heard greetings again for the third time.
All right. I just tried responding one more time at it. It's like, hello? Who are you? Come on, say something other than that.
You respond with...
The new radio.
Okay, the radio. Alright, you hear another burst of white noise. And it says... Purpose of visit?
I need repairs. The ship's life support has been failing.
You were this close to being able to say pleasure.
Do you know anyone who can repair this?
You see it swivel on one leg, and then it begins its locomotion back towards the wall. Assuming that nothing were to happen, what would you do with your next, say, 5 to 10 minutes?
If it's walking up to the wall, I'm probably kind of like following it along, assuming it's trying to lead me somewhere, and then it just stops and I kind of like stare at it a little bit. Is it like actually connecting to a port or something?
No, it's just one of the ones that seems to just be staring at the wall. Like it swivels around, turns to face the wall, or walks back to the wall in that method that I described before, and just seems to stand there, facing the wall. I would use the word again, staring, but it has no real eyes, so it's just not really staring at all.
Right. I don't suppose there's anything very interesting or exciting about the wall to me, is there?
I mean, it's... Let's see, you've rolled 2 successes observationally and 1 success academically. It is a some metal construct of some sort.
I just love how he's groping to say, what would be interesting about a wall?
I mean, it's the wall channel. All wall, all the time.
Oh, I love this
man,
channel.
The paint drying channel, my favorite.
The worst part is when they interrupt with the commercial.
Maybe I'll like reach my hand out and like touch the wall and like see like what happens to it. You know, it's just normal metal as far as I can tell.
Take the glove off your spacesuit.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, I'm touching with the spacesuit, I guess.
Yeah. So this wall feels incredibly a lot like the inside of your spacesuit. It's weird.
Wow.
I mean, the wall doesn't react when you touch it, other than to not give way. It seems to be designed in that way to, you know,
the basic functionality of a wall, yes, to not permit things to go through it.
It's a very non-permeable substance, this wall.
Time to look for all the illusory walls now. We're playing First Ed now. My gnome throws rocks at all of them. But no, alright, so this guy is, basically not responding anymore. I'll, give it, another, you still there? What's going on? Someone gonna come? Hello?
Yeah, it doesn't respond to you.
Right.
I'm assuming you're using the new radio.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't respond. I mean, every so often, you send a message to it, and you get, a flash of white noise back.
Okay. So, he's not responding. There's only a couple other people, since, running around right now, right?
On the level that you're at, yeah. I mean, again, from your position, especially now that you're against one of the walls, if you turn around, you can see it, a couple levels above. But from this position, you're able to see, the ground of that ringed deck above you. You can see about the same number of synths walking around on that level as well. Well, mostly not walking around. Most of them are, again, facing the walls the same way this guy is. Or this thing is. I don't want to apply sexuality to a synth that you don't know anything about.
Yeah, can't misgender our robots here. But, so, you said there were a couple typing or moving around, so I'll go ahead and, try going up to them and, also try starting maybe a conversation hello? Is anyone gonna come down and help me?
Alright. You approach one that is apparently walking away from a console that it was standing in front of, and is approaching what appears to be a circular hole cut into the deck above it. And it approaches it, and it stops moving, and it just stands there. This one is, by the way, a round, circular thing. It's kind of like a dish bottom. It seems to be hovering just above the ground itself. Doesn't seem that hard thing to do. This is a lower gravity environment, as you recall. But,
Right.
yeah, it's more like just a ball on a dish. It's got two appendages that are more like antennas with, just little pokey bits at the end. Yeah, actually, just think of rabbit ears antennas.
So, it doesn't respond when I address it.
You get a burst of white noise back, but it doesn't say anything word-wise.
Right, and I don't understand the white noise whatsoever.
Every time, you know what? It's been a bit. I'll give you a second academics check if you want.
Okay, let's give it a go. I could also think about throwing my personality into it and just say, I'm getting frustrated with this. We'll see how the first two dice go. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw the D12 on and see if we can get this ball rolling.
No, because the only thing you're really picking up here is that the white noise happens almost immediately when you stop talking. So it's kind of hard to tell either they're responding back to you so quickly that maybe it is a message.
Do you speak system basic?
Again, you get a flash of white noise back and nothing else.
Do you? And I'll just say it again, even slower.
I mean, as you're
and louder.
doing the as you're doing the American in a foreign country ploy, flood of light comes down as one of these elevators lands beside where this guy was waiting. Again, where this thing was waiting. I don't know. This thing is better than sexualizing it.
This robot.
Where this synth was waiting. The doors open on it. The synth steps in, and another synth steps out. Do you follow the first one into the elevator, or do you just stand around here where your ship is?
I'm not gonna pursue it because I have no idea what it is or where it's going, and it's not talking to me. But you said a new one's coming out. Who's this guy?
This one is another floating one, but it looks more like a floating pylon, and it has a number of boxed openings on each side. It's a six-sided pylon. Sorry, I'm using the word pylon more like an obelisk shape. Black in color, has boxes on each of the six sides that seem to have like folded in extendable appendages to come out. It has no visible face or sensor suite that you can see. It's very bland, very blank. But it comes floating out of the elevator.
Alright, so, where does this one seem like it's going?
It seems to, if you take a moment to watch it, be floating directly towards your ship.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and try, addressing it. It's like, do you speak, System Basic?
You get another blastback of white noise, then followed by repair services initiated.
Hey!
Hey, you're my best friend now.
I can't wait till it starts repairing your ship. It's like, what's all this oxygen recycling? You don't need this. Rip.
Oh gosh, yeah, let's see what happens. But yeah, it's gonna go over to the ship, and if it's like not gonna like turn to me, ask me questions, or do any money, I'm just gonna kind of watch and see how it repairs it.
Well, at first it just seems to float in front of the ship for, I'm gonna say, 2.5 minutes. And then it slowly does this long, like, pace. Again, it's floating in midair, but I'm going to use the terminology that I'm familiar with. It's going to pace around the ship in one long, wide circle. And then it's going to start floating there again in front of the ship for another 2.5 minutes or so.
Has anyone ever seen that Muppet bit, the Fur TV? Just like we thought, it's fucked.
I can only imagine like it's scanning it here, or at least that's the reason like it's doing circular motions.
I wish you
But
wouldn't
I'm gonna
watch.
like look over to it and like try to address it like it's the life support system. It's not working. Most everything else seems to be okay.
I'm just waiting for it to go. What do you need life support for? It's easier to repair you. We'll just remove these lungs.
You joke.
I mean,
But
he's
that's
not
probably
wrong.
the scenario we're in. um,
Yeah, it floats there for a bit, and then you say all that stuff, and again, you get another flashback of white noise. And, give me another observation check.
Alright, observation. We're gonna pull out our 3 dice and come up with nothing.
Okay. Yeah. You get another flashback of white noise and blink. You just blink. For some reason. Man, something must have gotten in your suit, right in your eyes. Oh, God. You see nothing.
How do I rub this eyelash on my eye while I have the spacesuit on? I know, I'll take off the helmet.
Man,
Hey, no.
that would be my nightmare, right? Middle of a vacuum in space, and God, something's in my. Oh my God, my nose itches. Something's in my mouth. Oh God, you gotta have the
Gosh,
willpower of a saint to get through.
the mild terrors of spacewalks here.
How's that repair work coming along there, Johnny? I don't know. I can't open my right eye.
That really is what most of astronaut training is.
Yeah, the willpower to be able to overcome, right?
They put an
Those
eyelash
fucking
fragment.
heroes. Well, yeah, because you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, they just put the eyelash fragment in your eye and say, "Okay," and they start timing you.
All right, guys.
So
I've
while
had
it's
a.
working, I'm like literally like bending down like on one knee, like on the ground, like oh my eye.
I've had a long life, guys, but this is too fucking annoying. I'll see you the next time. No, Johnny,
so-
don't open your helmet.
Rack this.
But I presume like while I'm busy like trying to get like the one eyelash out, he's probably like busy actually doing a repair or something.
No, actually, you send that message, blink, and then it sends back another message identifying the make and model of the ship, and then it starts floating back towards where the elevator shaft is.
Wait, What? No! Get back here and repair this thing.
You get another burst of white noise.
It's at this point where I'm considering how do I intimidate a robot properly.
That's a good question.
Well, I guess it's more like I'm trying to get his attention and inform him of the urgency of this. Which is going to be like, if you don't repair that thing right now, I'm going to end up dying in the next 70 minutes. Come on.
Are you actually trying to intimidate it? Because if so, I'm going to need a roll of will and presence.
Well, that's the only way I can like think to phrase it presence-wise. I'm literally just trying to get his attention, inform him how important this is.
Well, no, I'm leaning more
but
on
I
the
don't have
fact
anything
that...
to give him in exchange for this right now.
Well, I'm leaning more on the fact that you've used repeatedly the word intimidate.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, because my social skill here is presence.
Right, so you're trying to frighten it, I guess, into action.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm trying to, like, reinterpret it and get away from just, like, presence is only intimidate.
It is also to make yourself known, but
Yeah, that's
But
That's
you
more
are
the
known, you've
interpretation I
been
want to
basically
lean on.
shouting in this place the entire time.
yeah. So he's telling you, like, if you want to try intimidating it, that might work, but yeah, it already knows you're here. It doesn't care. It's like it's some sort of uncaring, unfeeling machine.
Yeah. Then we'll kind of lean on that interpretation, and I'll just be like, get back in there and repair it now, and,
Alright, well,
I
make your
think I could
roll.
probably... Let's see, so what exactly should I be rolling? I got a Scare Stun prepared, which is, body, will, and presence.
Sure, I'll work with that.
Alright,
That's opposed by...
Body, will, and presence.
Okay.
yeah, same thing, basically. I got a whole one, though.
Sorry, in my mind, I was thinking back to Ironclaw taunts from the
Yeah.
Book of Fools.
He's not taunting, he's scaring.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was 1 month ago. Would have been the perfect time to get Book of Fools.
Yep.
Cross promotion, Raph. Work with me
See if
here.
it can fail all of its dice.
Yeah, we've done April Fool's promotions before.
Yeah, but no, I'm just talking about it, because it's going to be in a recording.
Yeah. And so people will listen to this in, like, October of 2020 going, what the hell are they talking about?
Hey, October 2020. That's only a couple months away from April Fool.
You're always only a couple months away from April Fool's.
I think you'll find that April Fool's happens every year.
What? No.
Possible.
Yes, it is possible. Anyways, you yell at this thing, which, again, you can't determine if it has a face. So you might be yelling at its back, or it could be floating backwards away from you facing you. Who knows?
Yelling into its kneecap.
Right? But it seems fairly unfazed by whatever's going on in your mind.
Yeah, at this point, Jewel is probably just, like, screaming, like, in rage into his suit. Of course, going nowhere in the vacuum.
Right.
It's like zoom out, complete silence.
I mean, it's just hovering there where the elevator was moments ago. There's no elevator there currently, so it's doing the same thing as the other one. Just waiting there. There are multiple other synths lining the walls around you. Some of them moving, some of them just seemingly staring at the walls.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing really seems to be happening.
All pointing at you and laughing, mocking you in your lungs.
No. But yeah, like, I can't understand them. I can't seem to get them to do what, they want me to do. Apparently this guy just, like, checked out my registration is all. And then walked away.
Yeah, floated
So
away.
I'm kind of in the dark unless I can find some way to understand them. I might have to just, like, try booking it straight to, like, someplace I know has air and just hope.
Well, again, the iris closed above you.
Right. I'd have to, like, go through the whole process of taking off again.
And convincing them to open up. Unless you want to ram through.
Mm-hmm.
Elevator comes back down again. This thing hovers inside of it.
I'm I'm like chasing this thing down, I think, because I think it's like the repair pod at this point.
Okay, so you get on the elevator.
Yeah.
Okay. The elevator's doors close almost on you, like they don't register you as being there.
Hmm.
So, quick little dash in. And the elevator begins to rise with increasing speed the further away you get. Like, you can look down over the edge. It's kind of like almost a glass elevator sort of scenario. It's capsule shaped with a flat bottom to it, of course. And it seems like the illumination comes from the outside because the inside seems relatively dark. But you're able to see through it. Like, you can look down at your ship as it slowly seems to fade away into the darkness below.
Right.
It's hard to tell exactly what depth you are in here because you really can't see the top. It's just faded off into blackness, and you can't see your ship below because it's also faded off into blackness. The fact that there's a ring structure circling around the way means that you can't see the points of light on the floors beneath you. All you can do is see the points of light on the floors across from you.
Hmm.
Eventually, the elevator comes to a halt, and the thing floats off to the right.
I'm going to be following it then. I like turn on my suit flashlight in case it's like too dark, because these things don't have lights anywhere.
Right, again, the only lights are from the consoles and everything that litter the walls. It floats off for a short distance, and before you can catch up to it, a humanoid synth, and by humanoid I mean like Metropolis. Imagine that robot from Metropolis, like that sort
Right.
of very intentionally humanoid figure. Although Metropolis, that was made from a woman, but whatever. Very specifically humanoid. Hands, digits, arms, legs, face to resemble a
Nice shiny
human.
brass and all.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna laugh. Protocol droid.
Well, I mean, I guess C-3PO fits, but
Yeah, probably what his design was based on, honestly.
yeah, it takes a quick left and steps away from the wall right into your path.